So we're gonna start with the hammer. So just using a rope, stand up nice and tall. You want the angle of the rope on a vertical line. So elbows are tucked in nice and tight. And you just pull in with your index, just an ever so slight movement out at the very top. Common mistakes for this obviously is momentum, so everyone jacks the pin down. They start using momentum, they start swinging into it, or if they're leaning like this, they cock their elbows out and do this, or they just do it nice and tight and they do nice and short ones. You want full range of motion, so stand nice and back, all the way up, all the way down, full length. So other variations of that is dumbbell curl, hammer dumbbells, alternate. You can do reverse easy bar curls is another one that'll hit the outer head. Personally, I like the rope because it's constant tension, and if you hit the form correctly, it's going to be a burn halfway through. So now we're going to go to a cable easy curl bar. So what I mean by easy curl bar is the bar that basically looks like this. So instead of straight, it comes up. In that variation, I get people to use a cable because there's constant tension from the bottom of the rack to the top of the rack. So if you go with an actual barbell, like free weights, most people are going to swing to about here, then you're going to catch it, and you're going to get up to here, and then there's no tension at the very top. Same thing on the way down, but most people just let it go. So with a cable, you have tension from the bottom right to the top and all the way back down. So the one thing I stress on people is control the weight, don't let the weight control you. So if you're swinging and swinging your torso, you're not effectively doing it, it's too heavy, lighten the weight. So the easy analogy is, so when you're standing in, instead of standing right up over the cable, lean back. So lean back to the point where from your shoulder all the way down to the pulley is a straight line. So now you're gonna lean back. Your elbows are stuck by your side now, so they are not moving. So now what I want to think is I'm driving this part of my hand, so my wrist and that meaty part of your thumb and the bottom of your palm, I'm driving that up towards my face. Rep range is still the same as the other one. For beginners, you're looking at like 15. As you progress and you get stronger, you can move it on down to the 10 to 12 range. But again, don't sacrifice your form for just moving up weight to lift heavier. It doesn't equate to getting bigger muscles. Form is how you get big muscles. And notice how I'm controlling the weight on the way down. I'm not just letting it go like this. So what I'm gonna do now is preacher. Most people will do double, but just because of prior injuries with myself, with shoulder injuries, I like to do single. So I'll show you the technique for the single. It does kind of duplicate into both, but the main thing is getting your arm in the right spot and how you drive the weight towards your face. Big thing is, don't sit up like this, because right away I'm gonna start rocking into it. So you wanna get in here, so your armpit is right against the top of the preacher, okay? So when you get in here, a lot of people have the tendency of grabbing this, and it's something I went over in a previous video. So what I recommend people doing is they put their thumb underneath, like this, and kind of make like a ledge or a cup. So, and if you're having problem feeling it in the bicep, don't let your wrist completely go. Just concentrate on driving through this part right here. So the wrist and the bottom part of your palm, okay? So now I'm gonna sit back into it, full range of motion, full stretch, and driving that up. Controlling the weight all the way up and down. I'm not trying to rock myself into it and lessen the tension. Body's staying in a steady spot, and just driving that wrist up. Not to the dumbbell curl. You can stand with dumbbells at a neutral spot. You can stand with them like this, but they just kind of hang there, and it's kind of like a rocking motion. So you see, like I start with like a kind of like a swing, where you're coming up and you're letting the weight control the movement. One thing I am not is I'm letting my elbow, sticking my elbow where it's at. It's not coming back. It's another concept that a lot of people kind of misjudge because they're worried about getting it up there and flexing it. Controlling the weight and the way down is just as important as controlling the way up. So, not controlling the bicep curl on the way down, you're missing out on half the rep. So, think about it this way. You want as much stress on the bicep through the full range. So if I just do this and flex and let it go, I'm missing 50% of the range. So 50% of that whole time that I should be contracting, I'm not. So you want contractions from up here all the way down, all the way up and all the way down. So that is paramount with every exercise. Control the weight, up and down, up and down. So it doesn't matter what muscle it is. Same as I said earlier, it's priming the muscle, getting the muscle preset in your body. Good position, and then it's control the weight from front to back. Partials is keeping stress on the muscle. You go into complete failure. So instead of just kind of, oh, I'm at 6, that's it. You're going beyond where you want to go. So when it starts to get hard and you start to get a little dirty with it, instead of cheating and really swinging it and really getting into it, then you stiffen up your body and do some partials. You're keeping the motion going, you're keeping the blood flow, you're keeping the stress in the muscle, but you're only doing part of the rep. So my thing is, if you're gonna do partials, stay tight. Everything stays tight and you stay in the form. You're just doing the lower half of the rep. You're going from full range to partials at the end. Instead of getting that full swing, and bringing my shoulders into it. I'm not here to do shoulders today, I'm here to do bicep. Kind of lean in the angle that you're going here. So you're gonna have a full stretch in behind. And the one thing I wanna see is that like your elbow doesn't move this way or that way. So everything is straight. Standing over top, you're gonna have the same stretch, but I have more when I go out like this. And with this, I still have the ability to lean back. Here, I do not have that ability because I would physically have to hyperextend my back to do that. That's why I'm saying this doesn't move. So as long as you're here and you don't feel a stretch here, you're in the right spot. But if you're feeling a stretch here, yeah, stand up just a hair. But it's all on feel, it's all on preset. So right now, all I'm feeling is my bicep. I'm not feeling front delt. Another way you can call these is a dead curl. So it's dead weight. You're going right to a dead stop. Stop, now curl. Dead weight. Still concentrating on the wrist. I'm not concentrating on the handle. My wrist is what I'm concentrating on moving, not my hand. Essentially what they're doing, if I was like this and I really wanted to crank that squeeze, the way to do it is I have to do this. So what motion is this? Like I'm at full flex right now. The only way to make that flex harder, realistically, the first thing the body's gonna do is do this. That's front delt. Like literally, I'm doing a front raise. If I stand up like this is what I'm doing. So doing this, you just go until it's fully flexed. Like I can't physically move my forearm any higher. You can't emphasize that anymore, really, without bringing it in on the muscle. So if you think about your arm like a balloon. So I mentioned it before in another arm day video. My whole concept when it comes to arms is think of the muscle as a balloon. Trying to get as much blood in there as possible, get a big pump. So when you do just bicep, you're only putting blood in here. Then when you go to tricep, that blood transfers and it goes to the tricep. If you're doing both, bicep then tricep, bicep then tricep, your body has no ability but to put blood in both areas. So your pump's gonna be more intense. You're gonna feel every rep that you're doing on both ends. So once you get a really good pump on your bicep, when you're coming up here, you feel your forearm against the bicep. And then you feel the contraction of the tricep. Same when you go to the bicep. You're coming up and you're feeling it. When the bicep and the dumbbell comes down, you feel that tricep kind of holding that weight. So you're not only feeling it where you want it, you're feeling full range on both bi and tri. So I always think of it as put as much blood in as you possibly can, both ends. So don't just do all bi and then all tri, because the bi's gonna transfer it. The bi's gonna take that blood out of the tri and bicep and put it in the tri. So if you do both at the same time, you're gonna pump both up. So bigger pump, bigger muscle.